Howdy folks, welcome to another little mission. As most of you know, we recently had a fire at Bald Mountain, and according to the fire map, the Bald Mountain gates, the 4 gates at the foot of Bald Mountain into the restricted area, are also affected. So I'm heading out there today to see if there's any damage, and I got my handy little Geiger counter with me to check for elevated radiation levels. Let's take a look. Stay tuned. You can find links to the videos of the fire in the description. There's also a link to my video of the gates before the fire. From the highway we are driving towards Bald Mountain, the tallest peak in the Gro Mountain range ahead. At the top is a radar site that is a vital piece of Area 51 infrastructure. A few hundred yards before I reach the first gate, I can see burnt vegetation on both sides of the road. And then something on the side of the road catches my eye. Let's take a closer look. Sure enough, it's one of the old road sensors from way back in the 1980s. These are the 2 sensors that detect vehicles driving by. Essentially, they are magnetic induction coils. Spaced apart, they can detect the direction and speed of a car driving by. I have not seen one of these old road sensors in probably 20 years. A link to some photos and more information is in the description. The sensors are connected to the transmitter unit with cables. The round can is the transmitter, and the ammo box contains the batteries. The old transmitters operated in the 490 MHz range, in a band reserved for terrestrial TV broadcast. Back in the 1980s, these units were hidden in bushes along the road. I suppose this unit was never removed when Area 51 upgraded to new sensors. The fire crew must have come across it while they were fighting the fire. The units had labels on top identifying them as US government property. Ahead of us is the first gate. The road inside the gate actually continues all the way to the Groom Lake Road guard shack. Along the road inside the boundary is a network of about a dozen FLIR cameras and other intrusion detection devices. There's a side road just inside the boundary to a lookout on a small hill. The electric panel at the top of the hill does not appear to be damaged by the fire. In the burnt area near the gate, I take my first reading with the Geiger counter. The large number in the display is the accumulated dose. The smaller number below it shows the current radiation. It reads 0.015 to 0.016 mg per hour. That is exactly the normal background radiation in our area. No elevated radiation levels here. Looking up towards the top of Bald Mountain, it is apparent that the fire almost reached the radar site. Trees only a few hundred feet from the radar domes are burned. The only thing that saved the site itself is the fact that there is not enough vegetation at the top to fuel the fire. The lack of vegetation at the top is what gave Bald Mountain its name. The newer road sensors on the road to the gate are still working. They are buried in the ground and survived the fire. And sure enough, a security patrol shows up, coming from the guardhouse at Groom Lake Road. They stay inside the boundary, watching me. Looks like security had set up barricades to prevent fire crews from accessing the restricted area. The security vehicle has red and blue police-style lights on the dashboard. I first saw these new lights in use earlier this year when I visited another remote gate nearby. The windshield is so tinted that it is impossible to see the guards' faces. They are obviously not too happy about my presence here, but I am on public land, outside the perimeter, and there is nothing they can do about me filming them. as long as I don't go past the warning signs, which I have no intention of doing. The fire has exposed the side road just inside the boundary that leads up to their lookout on the hill. Apparently there were plans at one point to install a FLIR camera up here, but for some reason they never got past installing the electric panel for it. The vegetation inside the second gate appears unharmed. But panning around, we can see a large area of burnt vegetation outside the perimeter. In the distance we can see the security vehicle, now at the top of the lookout hill. Let's take a closer look with a 500mm zoom lens. They are parked next to the grey electric panel, watching me. The road I am on ends a short way inside the boundary, so they are probably not too concerned about me at this point. From here, the charred vegetation on the side of Bald Mountain is clearly visible. Burnt trees almost all the way up to the top. On my way back down and to the next gate, the camos are keeping an eye on me from their lookout. Here we are at the third gate. The fire must have been pretty intense in this area. There is not much left of the already sparse vegetation. The signs and border markers here show signs of fire damage. Here's another silver ball in the wash, marking the boundary. There's a solar-powered FLIR camera a few hundred yards inside the gate. It does not appear to be affected by the fire, and I am sure it is watching me now. The white container is not part of the FLIR camera. It has been there for years and I was never able to figure out its purpose. And more burnt trees on this side of Bald Mountain. I'm heading back down from the gate. Along the way, I take another radiation reading in this severely burned area, which also shows only normal background radiation. While I'm stopped there, I notice a wire sticking out of the ground. It is barely visible, and if it had not been moving in the wind, I would have never noticed it. Sure enough, I found another road sensor. This is one of over 100 newer sensors that are buried in the ground on all access roads. A link to more information and some photos of the sensors is in the description. Using my scanner, I am able to verify that this one survived the fire and is still active. The last gate is at a slightly higher elevation. There are more trees here, and we can see that the fire destroyed the vegetation on one side of the road. But it looks like it did not make it across the road to the other side. I'm taking another reading, which again is in the normal range for background radiation in this area. Time to head back to the highway and give security a break. Thanks for watching. I look forward to your comments below. And please remember to like and subscribe.